Welcome, my beautiful people. It's nice to be back with you. My name is Stefan, your Grenadian ambassador, and I have with me my dear brother from Venezuela, Ruben. Um, we are back once again. A lot have happened since the last live that we did. A lot has taken place. You know, we had witnessed an event where the world stood still and saw a sitting president and his wife literally being kidnapped from their homes by the aggression of the United States. It was something that we all was shocked by, and now we are seeing Delcy Rodriguez and is now being sworn in as the president of Venezuela. But there is, first of all, my dear brother, welcome to the show, welcome to the live. It's always a pleasure to have you. How we let me first of all ask, since after the kidnapping of Maduro and his wife, how things have been in Venezuela at this present moment.
Well, I am extremely happy because a lot of political prisoners have just been released. I know many of them personally,
Okay.
and I gave you the list a while before. I
Yes.
think, well, I don't know if I can tell you brief stories of each of most of them. I I would really like to start from there because all of this, like Capitan Caguaripano,
Mm-hmm.
he was placed into prison in the protests of 2017.
Okay.
So he has been in jail for 9 years, and he was just released about an hour ago.
All right.
Jesus Armas. I worked with him when he was in campaign for City Council of Caracas. He won the City Council of Caracas. Then he was part of the team of Maria Corina Machado in 2024.
Mm.
And he also was in jail since 2023, I think. Now he's being released as well. Uh, let's see, Rafael Tudares. He is the son in law of presidential candidate Edmundo González Urrutia, and he was detained exactly a year ago, a few days after the swearing in of, well, it was supposed to be Edmundo's because it's everybody thinks Edmundo won,
Mm.
and but Maduro was sworn in. Juan Pablo Guanipa. He was elected mayor, no, governor of the state of Zulia in 2017. However, he decided not to take the post because then he was required to pledge allegiance to the constitutional assembly, and the constitutional assembly was deemed illegitimate by the opposition. But he was also in the campaign of Maria Corina Machado. Javier Tarazona, he is a great human rights promoter. Rocío San Miguel, she's a journalist with a lot of sources in military things. Freddy Superlano, a close ally of Leopoldo López and Juan Guaidó. He won the governorship of Barinas State recently, but after he won, they said that it didn't count, and
Mm.
they had to put another special election. Henry Alviares, he was the coordinator of the whole national organization of Maria Corina Machado. Roland Carreño, he has been a high executive of Leopoldo López and Juan Guaidó political party. Carlos Julio Rojas, I have been in protests in the streets many times in 2014.
Okay.
And many of his friends I had been involved with recently, last year. Hosmar Baduel, he is the son of General Baduel. I don't know if you remember the stories of 2002 when Hugo Chavez was deposed and he was flown to Lorchila Island. General Baduel was the one who returned
Mm.
Chavez
Okay.
into power. And then General Baduel went in prison, and now his son was in prison as well.
Mm.
This is huge, Stefan. This is
Yeah.
probably the biggest news of the year. This
It is.
release,
It is because I saw a while ago. I did saw a while ago that the new interim president of government of, well, not really new, because all the generals, everybody is still there with Delcy Rodriguez, but they did announce that they will be releasing political prisoners. Now, when you say political prisoners, what do you mean? And what is it that they?
well,
Heard,
because they are
I
from
heard
the
that.
opposition,
Yeah.
and the opposition usually gets in jail in Venezuela.
Okay. Okay. Right. And what is it? What is it that they were? These people were was protesting about? What is it that they were protesting?
Let's see. In 2000, because the thing, this comes from, let's see, Chavez won. There are many people who say that Hugo Chavez only won clearly the very first time in 1998.
Mm-hmm.
And hold on, let me see if in the list, if there's somebody else that I, Biagio Pilieri, Dignora Hernandez, those are from Maria Corina. Nick Merevans, I also know him personally, he's a journalist. Okay, those are all of them. But every election, Chavez has been going down and the opposition has been going up. And so in 2012, my distant cousin Enrique Capriles was a candidate for the presidency. And basically, he got 50% votes for Maduro and 49% for Enrique Capriles.
Okay.
Only 1% difference. So it was within a margin of error, and according to many observers, there were so many irregularities in that election in 2013. That was after Chavez was declared dead. Oh, because that's another thing. Chavez, I am sure Chavez died on December 30,
Mm-hmm.
2012, while he was in Cuba. Last time Chavez addressed the nation was in December 8th, 2012.
Mm.
But then the Minister of Communications always said, no, Chavez is recovering, he had this treatment. Bullshit. All of that was lie. He was dead. And they did not announce his death until March 5th, 2013,
Mm.
more than 2 months after he died.
Okay.
Uh, so they could arrange the election, and still Maduro managed to win, but there were many irregularities in, like, people were supposed to vote with somebody accompanying them so that they told them where to push.
Mm.
So that's why a lot of people have said that Maduro has always been illegitimate. Always. Because the first time he won against Enrique Capriles, at a very small difference that can be perfectly explained because of the voting conditions. Then in 2018, the opposition abstained, did not participate. That was dumb of them, but. And then in 2024, most people you talk to, they said they voted for Edmundo. So it's true, like the opposition didn't prove that he won because they didn't send the voting records to the Venezuelan Supreme Court. But as you know, the international community and the United Nations and the Carter Center, everybody overwhelmingly say that Edmundo won.
Wow.
So,
In- Interesting.
all these protests were
Hmm.
because people were realizing that Venezuela every time was becoming more and more and more as a dictatorship.
Okay. Well, interesting. Very interesting. Um, Now, what is how things are like on the ground right now? I mean, I have there are some audience that wants to know, like Miss Arima, welcome. They want to know what is happening on the ground right now.
Well, right now, right now people are just concentrated in greeting all of these political prisoners that have been released
Mm,
right now. Right, like people are extremely happy today because it's a lot of people who should never have been jailed. They were just jailed because they were from the opposition.
right, right.
So
I
I
guess that's because there's this debate that these people are put into jail for the right set of reasons, but it seems as though that's not what it is. I mean, we have to sometimes be real and know that certain things are just not for what it is. Now, Delcy Rodriguez, how confident the Venezuelan people, what kind of uh, confidence that the Venezuelan people have in Delcy Rodriguez? Do she
I
have?
don't know. I don't know
Does
about Venezuelan people, but
okay?
I personally, I
Uh-huh.
am in love with her. I think
Oh,
she's the best president we've ever had. I'm really happy she's into office. She is qualified. She is a lawyer with education in France and England, and she knows very well the petroleum industry. Kamla from Trinidad and Tobago respects her, and she's Chavista, so she knows both worlds. You
okay.
need somebody like her to lead this country because
Yeah.
you have one polarization who doesn't like the other polarization, and so people don't talk together. And Delcy Rodriguez, she gets along well with the business community, and she also goes to the poor communities for the communal activities of economic entrepreneurship.
But there are
And
some. I've read some. I am reading. There are some reports and what I'm hearing. And I have came across certain things that is being told about Delcy Rodriguez. Okay. Now I take certain things I take with a grain of salt. I don't run with it. I look for clarification. Some people say that Delcy Rodriguez is more radicalized than Nicolas Maduro. What are your thoughts about that?
no, absolutely not. Maduro had all of these people in jail, and she just released them. Maduro would never have released all of these people.
Right. Have you been a personal support personally? Have you been a supporter of Maduro, or are you? Do you see Maduro? Sorry if I am asking you or putting you in the spotlight, but personally, I just want to know. And if you cannot answer that, it's okay. But personally, do you see Maduro as a dictator?
Yeah, pretty much, because
Hmm.
I mean, why did he why did he have to jail all of these people?
Okay. Hmm.
If you have political prisoners, you are a dictator.
All
And
right.
also, he didn't win elections either.
Mm.
I mean, really, which election has Nicolas Maduro won in reality? The thing is that the opposition has had lots of, I mean, all of these people that I have told you, I am very happy that they are free,
Mm-hmm.
but I've had quarrels with many of them also because I have been trying to understand Chavismo while they have been a little bit more radicalized but to the right. The thing is that you have like dictatorship from the left of Maduro and dictatorship from the right of the political leadership represented by all of these prisoners. And the thing is that if any of those people manage to get into the presidency, they are
Mm.
gonna get a bunch of people from the Chavez Maduro government in jail. So we will never have a solution because these two groups hate each other. That's
Okay.
horrible. So that's why I am so happy that Delcy Rodriguez and her brother Jorge Rodriguez are finally realizing that we must understand and embrace differences.
Mm.
Delcy Rodriguez said that yesterday. Oh
All
no
right.
no no no! Delcy is much different than Maduro. I think she's much more mature, much more capable. I think when she was a vice president, she had to follow orders and she was just waiting her time.
Mm.
Now it's her time. She has full United States support and she has the support of the army. I mean, also, why do you think the United States uh, air, air forces could come into Caracas and there was no firing? All the people who were killed were Cubans. The
Mm.
Venezuelans did not fight because the Venezuelans probably voted for Edmundo Gonzalez. That was always
But
said since the
let
very
let me
first
ask you
moment.
this. Let me ask you this. It seems confusing. Like all I'm not, you know, all the things that you're saying, I'm not downplaying on it, but it seems confusing that uh people are saying Delcy Rodriguez, um, you know, there are some people, some factions that are saying Delcy Rodriguez is
Mm-hmm.
is a puppet of the American government. She shouldn't be trusted, and people go as far as to say that she betrayed Maduro. We don't have any evidence of that. And there are some people who says that Delcy Rodriguez will continue with the policy of Nicolas Maduro.
Oh no
Let,
no no no! Delcy
hold on.
Rodriguez is doing everything Donald
Yeah, yeah,
Trump.
but let me just play this for you. Let me
Aha.
just play this for you, and we will come back and speak about it because
Okay.
it is a bit confusing of who is really the next question I want to ask you: who really is in charge of Venezuela? Who is running Venezuela? Let me play this for you, and then we'll come back and speak about it.
Okay. And who is running Venezuela?
Yeah, just
Uh,
let's listen to this video. Let's listen to this video.
okay.
Mhm. All right, let me just bring it back. All right, let me see. Okay, sorry. They for some reason. All right, just give me a minute. Let me is when that is what happens with technology. That's just what happened. Technology when you really need it now, it fails. Um, let me see. Let me just give me a minute. Sorry about that.
With the interim authorities, and their decisions are going to continue to be dictated by the United States of America.
El gobierno de Venezuela rige en nuestro país, más nadie. No hay agente externo que gobierne a Venezuela. Es Venezuela.
We obviously have maximum leverage over the interim authorities in Venezuela right now, and the president has made it very clear that this is a country within the United States, the Western Hemisphere, close by the United States, that is no longer going to be sending illegal drugs to the United States of America.
La Venezuela que no se rinde. La Venezuela que está en resistencia activa y la Venezuela, un pueblo noble, un pueblo de paz.
So, it seems as though Delcy is giving us the impression she's saying she will continue. She will continue with Maduro's policy based on that video. So who is really, enlighten us? What is going on? It seems confusing.
Exactly the same thing that's happening in Grenada. I just watched your video on Grenada this
Yeah.
morning that your prime minister is pretty much doing everything Donald Trump says, and the same thing is happening to Brown in Antigua and Barbuda and Kamala and everyone else. It's exactly the same situation in every single country. Every single country is governed together between Trump and the president or prime minister of that country. It's exactly the same situation everywhere.
Mm-hmm. So who is I mean, you are in Venezuela, and what you are seeing and what is, you're observing on the ground. Who is in charge of Venezuela right now?
Delcy Rodriguez along with Donald Trump, both of them. And they are speaking constantly. Donald Trump just said today that he likes working with Delcy Rodriguez, that everything is developing wonderfully. If you hear, there are already good reports coming out from the White House of Delcy Rodriguez government.
Oh, that is interesting. Very interesting. So my audience, thank you for joining. If you want to contribute to the program, you can, I have put a link in the comment section. You can join us on screen. If you're not comfortable with the video, your face being shown, you could always mute your video. Or if you just want to call in, the number is on the screen, okay, right below the screen there. 538-5232. If you are outside of Grenada, you can call 147. Well, you must dial the code 1473. All right. So 1473-538-5232. All right. So now one more thing I want to. Well, there's this. I want to this news that is circulating, and let me just put it up. This guy, we are being told that he's been detained or replaced. I think General, what's his name? General
General
Jave Macano, if I get his name correct. Is it true that he had betrayed, took bribes, and allowed the Americans to come and kidnap Maduro and his wife?
I think everybody did. I mean, everybody was so sick of Maduro. I mean, why would you think the Maduro out movement has been so successful worldwide? And people voted Maduro out, and still he managed to take the elections, and even
Okay.
the army.
We getting a caller. Welcome to program, caller. Hello? Hello? All right, so we lost that caller. All right, go ahead, my brother. Go ahead.
Okay. I mean, like, nobody really didn't want to save Maduro. I mean, people say that, people are even saying that China and Russia, Maduro was like forming too many, like all the time asking for support from other countries. It's I think the same thing happened also in Syria, like when they had and what's happening in Iran too. In Iran, people are also sick of those people. How many the dictatorship of Iran? How many years do they have? Like 50 years. In St. Vincent and the Grenadines with Ralph Gonsalves, wasn't it the same thing? 24 years. It's like governments that just are forever, and people just want to get rid of them, and they don't know how to do it.
Mm. All right. What's next for Venezuela? What is next? What can we expect to happen next?
Well, I really hope everything Delcy Rodriguez wants to do. I mean, she sounds like.
Okay, so one moment.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. All right. I thought I had a caller. Go ahead. Sorry about that.
Well, she has a plan for artificial intelligence. She has a plan for petroleum. It seems that we're gonna have a free trade agreement uh, between Venezuela and the United States. It's funny because Argentina has been trying to have a free trade agreement with the United States, and Delcy Rodriguez is not even 1 week into office, and she already has got one. Because it seems that the petroleum money will be administered by, because that's another thing. It seems that Maduro's fortune was like 750 million dollars in Swiss banks and gold and all that. Extremely corrupt and rich.
Mm.
And
You
so
know,
that money, I don't know how they are gonna. The thing is that the opposition has been very bad with money too, because the opposition had the opportunity of running Citgo and they
mm.
let Citgo bankrupt. So Venezuelans have always been frustrated because the opposition sucks and the government sucks. And it seems that Delcy Rodriguez is good because she has had a 2 year history of improvements in PDVSA. In prior shows, I have
Yeah.
told you how PDVSA had been slowly recovering, and that's thanks to Delcy.
So what I'm getting from you, my dear brother, is that you support. Do you support what a regime change? Do you support the Americans taking over, working along with Delcy Rodriguez? Because I don't. I see it as the Americans dictating and Delcy Rodriguez. If that will happen, Delcy Rodriguez, which I don't be personally, I don't believe what Delcy Rodriguez is not a walkover. I think she will continue with the Maduro's policy. Maybe not all of it. Maybe that's just my personal opinion. I might be wrong. I think personally think that she will continue with some of Maduro's policy. It may not be all of it, right? But do you support what the change that the that is happening in Venezuela? When I say that, do you support a U.S. intervention in Venezuela in bringing about regime change, in you know taking over the oil, marketing it? Trump said that he will market you guys oil, and then the money he will give it back to benefit the Venezuelan people. Venezuela will be the people of Venezuela lives will be better. Do you believe these kind of sentiments and narrative that the Washington is sharing with the world, that they giving the world the impression that the Venezuela will now be a better place once America take over?
Well, the thing is that United States is not taking over Venezuela because they could have taken over Venezuela and they decided not to. They don't want to be on the ground. They need a government in Venezuela. We just like Delcy is doing, and that's why they chose Delcy and they did not choose Maria Corina Machado, because with Maria Corina Machado she would have been ousted in 2 days or 3 days because the military wouldn't support her.
Mm.
And but yeah, I mean, Venezuelans, we just want to get away from inflation. We want to have better income. I mean, like we had
So then it seems to me,
our
it seems to me, okay, I'm listening to you. It seems to
uh-huh.
me you are you are in support of the US coming in and handle certain things, because that's how it sounds.
Because
I mean, hold on, no, the last time we spoke, I you didn't really talk like this. I sense a change in how you are speaking right now. So what have happened? What have happened?
because I'm also realizing that what did Russia do? What did China do? What did Iran do? I mean, they were supposed to be our allies, and they really didn't do anything. And all they did is to write communiques to the United Nations. And how much have they developed the oil industry? It really hasn't gone up well. I mean, if if ExxonMobil and Chevron and ConocoPhillips can really, because we need the oil production to go up 3-4 times. Look how fast Guyana has developed because they have been
So
extracting their oil in full.
do you really think the United States care about the well-being of Venezuelans or Venezuela, the country of Venezuela? Do you really think that whatever it is that Trump is dictating to Delcy Rodriguez is for the benefit of Venezuelans?
Well, but that is Delcy Rodriguez a part of the equation to make sure that the needs of the Venezuelans are met. I think it's exactly the same thing with Kamala, the same thing with Gaston Brown, the same thing with Mitchell, the same thing with Mia. All of them try to place the needs of their citizens first, but they follow Donald Trump's instructions. The thing is that in the Venezuelan case, it's more obvious. But in the case of every other country, look at Milei in Argentina. Isn't it the same thing? Peru, Ecuador, everywhere. Even Colombia, Gustavo Petro, who said that he was so anti-imperialist, whatever, and he's so happy because Donald Trump invited him to Washington. I mean, what's the difference? Everywhere, in every single country, you have a president or prime minister who more or less takes care of the domestic issue, but the general strategy comes from the United States and Monroe Doctrine, I guess. I mean, it doesn't sound good, but I mean, that's what we have. We
All right.
thought we thought we could defeat that militarily, but
So,
even the
so
Venezuelan
basically,
military
so
didn't want
basically,
to
what you
fight
are
for
saying,
that.
so what you are saying right now that you got the government has now surrendered to the United States. That's should is this what
No,
should we know that
that's
now
correct.
that well it sounds like that. It sounds like how you are speaking is that you guys have surrendered and you guys just
Let's see.
you know
Did St. Vincent and the Grenadines surrender? Did Grenada surrender? Did Gaston Brown surrender? Forget Venezuela a little bit and tell me what are the cases of each Caribbean country.
mm.
It's your turn. Tell me how would that work in Grenada, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and Antigua and
Well, I mean,
Barbuda, and Trinidad?
I can speak for other Caribbean islands.
Because
I can
because
I can speak for other.
I heard what you said today
I
in the
mean,
morning.
we cannot even I can't even compare my own island, my little little
Mhm.
island, with Venezuela. And the what have happened here in Grenada is a different. I would say, it's 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 quite it's similar but different. Similar but different. You know, and I mean, we do not have an army. We do not. The Cubans were here. The Cubans stood up. They fought. There was factions in the Grenadian government. There was factions, and that is the kind of impression that I'm getting from you. You know, that there are factions. There are factions, and we should expect that whenever things like that, because America always spreads some false narrative and create division and faction, right, to destabilize the country. All right, any country, the track record shows us any country that Americans go intervene,
Mhm.
they always spread propaganda and destabilize the country.
Yeah,
Okay.
but Venezuela is calm. There is no destabilization here.
Hmm.
Nobody likes Maduro. The military did not like Maduro. And it's very likely that even Delcy and the National Assembly, nobody liked Maduro. Really. Only the few people who still support him.
Okay.
And he's out. Now Delcy is in. She is fixing the economy along with Trump. She is releasing political prisoners. I mean, she's been going in office 4 or 5 days, and it already seems a miracle.
All right, so I do understand where you're coming from. That you guys. Well, what I'm trying to say is that from an economical standpoint, Delcy is trying to bring about balance.
Yes.
All right, that is what I'm getting from you. So I do understand where you're coming from. It's just some things I want to clarify and make sure that we don't misunderstand each other. Now, I mean, we have some time on our hands still. It's not an hour. I always try to keep this program an hour with 36 minutes and 23 seconds going. Um, let me our my the audience who are watching, welcome. Those of you who are just joining in, if you want to contribute, if you have anything to say, you can click the link in the comment section, or you can call the number that is on screen. Okay. Those of you who do not like to you don't want to show your face, always you could always mute your video. All right, and we could only hear you audible wise. All right, audible wise. Yes, so all right, so we have a caller coming in. We have a caller coming in. Welcome, my brother, to the program.
Am I getting? Yes, yes. Good evening. Good evening. Good
Yeah.
evening.
Good evening.
Am I getting? Am I getting? Am I getting from your guess that Caracas?
Just one minute. Just 1 minute. Ruben, are you hearing? Are you hearing the caller clearly?
Yes, I hear perfectly.
Okay,
go
go ahead,
on.
my
Thanks
brother.
for calling.
Yeah, go ahead, my brother.
As I was saying, am I getting from your guess that Washington is effectively running Caracas? There is someone sitting in, and if I'm wrong with the name, Mar Flores, whatever the palace name is, there's someone sitting there called an interim president in the name of Delcy Rodriguez. So am I getting from your guess that she is just there sitting as a figurehead? But the real president of Venezuela is Donald Trump. Is that what I'm getting? Because
No, she is the real president, just the same way as Kamala is the prime minister of Trinidad and Tobago, but it seems that she gets orders from Donald Trump. It's the same thing as Gaston Brown in Antigua and Barbuda, who just concedes too many things of...
Hold a minute. Nobody in St. Vincent is getting orders from Trump. Let's just take that off the table immediately. I am trying to figure out here, are we coming to see in this 21st century that every nation on earth has no sitting leader elected by anyone? That is what we are effectively saying. We are saying that the United States runs every government in the world. That is what I'm getting from your guest.
Yes, that's exactly what's happening.
Government. No. That's what you're saying. You said Kamala is in Trinidad and she's taking orders from the United States of America. That is what you are saying. So really and truly, no nation is sovereign. No nation is independent. Absolutely none. So might as well, I believe what we should do in this Western Hemisphere here, let us stop behaving foolish and talk about, oh, we are sovereign and we are celebrating Independence Day.
Yeah.
I think what we should all do in this Western Hemisphere to stop all of the problems that we're facing, I think what we should do is to ask the United States of America straight up, can we become a state of the United States of America?
No.
America.
That's too extreme.
Let the United States of America run the entire Western Hemisphere as one block.
Yeah.
An entire block. No, don't shake your head and say no, because effectively that is what you are saying to me is happening at this very moment.
Ruben?
Well, the thing is that
Go ahead.
all I know is that there were a lot of political prisoners who were just released about an hour or 2 hours ago, and that has a lot to do with Delcy Rodriguez being in power, because Nicolas Maduro was the one who jailed them, and he was determined never to let them out.
Okay.
And so many Venezuelans around the world are celebrating
Hold on a
because
minute.
there is some freedom coming into the country.
So you're saying to me that Delcy Rodriguez today released maybe how much you said? I'm reading some newspapers. Some are saying 700, some are saying 800. I don't know.
I think
So-
8 to 900. I think that's the numbers.
So-
Yeah, at the beginning of the show, I told Grenadian ambassador stories I know, because I know many of them personally. And I am so happy they
Right.
are free,
Well, I
because
don't
they were
know.
political
I don't know.
prisoners.
Okay, I don't know what kind of crimes they committed. I have no idea.
Oh no, there were no crimes. I mean, we were just marching on the streets and protesting against some government policies, and there was just repression and people who got to jail. Right now, if you go to the street and they can check your telephone, and if you have opposition propaganda in your WhatsApp, they just take you to jail and take your phone away. I mean, like when I go out to the street, I never carry my cellular phone.
My friend, welcome to the real world. Because what you're telling me about a cell phone and WhatsApp is happening every living day in the United States of America. ICE is reading your WhatsApp messages. The CIA is reading your WhatsApp messages. The DEA is doing that. That is happening every day in the greatest democracy on earth. So let us get over these nonsense about, oh, this can do this and this can do that. I'm hearing that, but that is happening in America every single day. If you want the biggest data collection agency in the world, it is the United States of America. And Americans have given up their freedoms. Given up their freedoms so that a country, a government can spy on their citizens. They first started in 2001 when they said to them that there were weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, and then they confessed later, 10 years after, that there were no. By the time they finished with that, the Patriot Act was in place where American government can spy on you, listen to your conversation, record everything you do. So let us forget about all these things about Maduro can listen to your WhatsApp or he was listening to. That is happening in the United States long ago. So let's get over all these shenanigans. This is not what we're not talking here about. We're not talking here about whether Maduro was a criminal or whether Maduro jailed somebody. We're talking about here about whether or not a nation really has any sovereignty and has any independence, where another state can swoop into your country at any time and remove a sitting government. That is what we're trying to figure out.
That was
President has already been set.
Yeah.
President has been set.
Well, perhaps a president has been set for the rest of the world. I don't know, but what I am talking is about my personal experience in Caracas, where I feel very happy that there is freedom for a lot of people who were in jail. So there is more liberty today than there was liberty a week ago in Venezuela. So yes, Venezuela has improved, and the economic prospects are also improving. And it seems that there will be dialogue between opposition and government. So I think these are many welcome news in the last few days. That's my impression.
I am very
maybe that will change later.
Let me say before I go, I am very happy that you feel liberated. I'm very happy for that. I'm very happy that you feel that your country has been liberated. No one wants to live as a prisoner of anything. I'm very happy for you. But you have changed your tone in the last couple of hours. I don't know why, because previous programs I have heard you're in full support of the Maduro regime. I believe that you are to be
the Maduro regime. Then he was his vice president.
No. I'm speaking now. You had your turn. I didn't cut you off. I am saying to you that you sound as if we've heard many times from you. You are very principled in your stance. You are supporting the Maduro regime. That is your sentiments that you were expressing before. and you are saying that you don't like what the Americans are doing. You are stating all these things before. To change your tone today gives me the impression that you could be a CIA mole. And if I'm wrong, you could correct me. It could be that someone paid you to propagate certain things before, and if I'm wrong again, you could correct me. But that is the impression that you are giving to us, that you are supporting the Maduro regime. That is the impression that we were getting. That is the impression that we were getting. How can we trust your word today?
Well, because Delcy is still part of the Delcy is part of the Maduro regime. I mean, she was her vice president. Maybe she was probably Delcy was also expecting Maduro to go so that she could take power and she could do all the changes she's doing now. Because with Maduro in power, it would have been impossible for her to do all the changes she's doing now. The same happened with the military. Why do you think the military didn't, like the military were also saying, yes, we support Maduro. That was because they had no other choice. But once Maduro is gone, people start speaking more freely.
Listen to me. I want you. I'm going to leave now. I want you to be liberated in your mind. Okay? I want you to be liberated in your mind. People's choice must be self-determined, not determined by another state who runs your country. Self-determination must be made by the people of a country, not someone from outside of the country. Donald Trump has no right to determine who runs Venezuela. That is not his business so to do. No one can go into the United States of America and tell the Congress who should be the president of the United States of America. And none of us should agree with that kind of foolishness. But anyway.
No. But this case is different because Delcy has always been Maduro's. Now that Maduro is gone, Delcy, who was the vice president, now becomes the president. And when people change from vice president to president, they gain power. You never know anyone until they have power. You never knew who Delcy was because she didn't have any power. Now she does have power and she's doing the right things. She is pursuing policies that either Chavez or Maduro should have pursued 20 years ago.
But that is what is confusing, Ruben. I mean, I'm not debating or challenging what you are saying, but what is confusing, I will be quite honest. What is confusing is Delcy herself. I mean, there are many videos on social media, mainstream media, and it's not no makeup thing that I'm making, makeup story I'm saying here, or conspiracy theories. Delcy herself said she will continue with the constitution of Venezuela.
Yes.
that was created by Hugo Chavez himself. Yeah. She said that that Maduro, not Maduro, but Trump is not dictating the future of Venezuela, even though he's telling the world that it is not him. He is not in full control. She will, and as I personally say, I believe that she will drop certain policies of Maduro, and there are certain policies that she will continue. So she's saying that. So what? Again, and that is why I had the headline of this live. This is getting confusing. This is getting really confusing now, because it seems as though a lot of deception is taking place inside Venezuela. You don't know who to trust. You don't know. It's like America is saying one thing, and there are certain people that are saying another thing. People are changing their tone now. So it goes to show that a lot of is people being paid to change their tone. Is people, because I mean, personally, with you, I really thought that, you wasn't in you strongly in earlier on, you strongly condemn the actions of the United States, You gave me the impression that, and I'm not against you for changing or switching your loyalty, because everybody has a right to do so. Right? But why all of a sudden? Why what? Well,
Well, because I realized that Delcy Rodriguez wants to improve the Venezuelan economy, and I see that Delcy Rodriguez has liberated hundreds of political prisoners, and Maduro was never going to do that. And that's probably the reason why they were in negotiations during so many months. Remember that Delcy Rodriguez has been speaking to Marco Rubio during a long time, and they were probably planning all of this, secretly until it happened.
I want to ask you a question. Did you ever lived in the U.S. before, in the United States?
Yeah, I lived in the US between 1989 and 1995,
Mm,
and also in 2002.
okay, okay.
I lived in New Mexico, I lived in New York, and I lived in Florida. I know very well, and I visited California many times.
Mm, mm. So, just one moment. My we have about, let's say we have about 7 8 minutes more. Time is already flying. We this um So those my viewers and listeners, if anyone wants to call in, you can dial the number. All right. If you want to call, dial the number. If there's anything you have to say, also I have put the link in the description
Well,
to.
your Trinidad and Tobago people, like I really look forward that Kamla and Delcy get along, and they can save the Dragon Gas deal. That's
There's another
that's still
question.
always
Another
on the
question.
way.
Yeah, another question I want to. Well, personally, I think Kamala is in a very tight situation right now, and look at Maria Machado, and that is why I think the United States cannot be trusted when it comes to when it comes to implementing their foreign policy, whichever way you want to be in other nations, they cannot be trusted because Maria Machado was the one being looked upon, the one that we all thought would have been a part. Even if she wasn't, she would not have been the president, but she would have been a part of this transitional.
No,
No,
and
no,
I
no. I'm just
always
saying.
went against that.
No, no. I'm
You
just saying.
know?
No, I'm just saying. We all thought so because the Americans, Donald Trump and his administration, was looking up. She was being considered. Okay, as being a part of the transitional government.
Yeah,
Now,
but she didn't make it. Did you see what happened
right
between Machado
now,
and Grenell?
Trump,
Eh,
Trump, Trump.
Machado didn't want the political prisoners to be released because Richard Grenell came in January last year and
Oh,
he asked for a list of political prisoners, and Maria Machado did not give that fucking list.
so 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 so
It had to be Delcy, the
so
one
Ma-
who
so
released them.
so Machado didn't want. She wasn't in favor of releasing the political prisoners. Is that what you're saying?
Justin, everything of Maria Machado, in my opinion, is fake. It's like, because like she talked and talked and talked, but she never like made actions for. The only political prisoners she cared for were her friends who were in the Argentine embassy.
Okay. Let me ask you this. I hope you don't mind. What is your job in Venezuela? Do you have a
I am at the School of Cinema and Television. I run an online school for cinema, television, education, and we give courses of camera, sound, script, direction, production, post production, sound, everything online.
okay? Interesting. That's wonderful.
It's Cine TV.
Okay, that's wonderful. All right. So we only have 5 more minutes, so I'm going to give you the last word, my dear brother. But let me leave room open. Is there anyone who wants to call in? You want to, you know, you want to Anyone wants to call in or join us on screen, you can do so. You have 5 minutes to do so. All right. If there's anything you want to contribute to. All right. Let me just highlight some of the comments in the comment section. We have Get Black with me. He said it's hard to believe that anyone trusts the United States. They literally piss on everyone and tell them that it is raining. And sadly, people keep believing the peace is rain. All right. So thank you for that comment. Our PM is controlling citizens in an SOE. That is Kamla Posad Bisesa. We also have here as well. Let me just highlight some of the comments. I am from Trinidad and nobody agrees with our, well, I don't want to say that word, but then no one agree with our PM. Right now she's hiding and is afraid of citizens. Yeah, Kamala is have been staying away a lot from the public, avoiding media conference and all of that. So my dear brother, you any last words, anything you want to say before we leave?
Well, I think the person who called a while ago was insisting that Donald Trump is running Venezuela. No, Donald Trump is not running Venezuela. I mean, Delcy Rodriguez has her ideas just as every president, but she shares many of the ideas of Donald Trump. And so whenever they have ideas that match, then they apply them together first. Let's see. I am sure this honeymoon between them might stop eventually, but for the time being, everything has been extremely good news. And I look forward to more political prisoners being released, and I look forward to seeing in the debates of the National Assembly good points of views both between the extremists of the government and the extremists of the opposition, trying to gain some middle ground. And most important of all, I really want the oil industry to continue, and we need the American investment because, okay, we used to have Russian investment, Chinese investment, Iranian investment. Where is that investment? They sold us lots of weapons, and those weapons, we don't know if the weapons didn't shoot because they were low quality weapons, that the Americans were able to destroy those weapons before coming in, or just the Venezuelan soldiers did not want to fight because they also wanted to get rid of Maduro anyway. And look at the defense minister of Venezuela, Padrino Lopez. He is extremely loyal to Delcy Rodriguez right now. The police, the military, and I am sure the traditional opposition will now be more favorable to Delcy Rodriguez because they will realize that Delcy Rodriguez was the one who was able to release political prisoners, something that Maria Machado was never, because something Maria Machado was very good was to tell people, go protest, go in jail, and I will see how you will be rescued. And no, the one who rescued was Delcy, not Maria.
Let me read for you an information that just have come in. It goes, and that is why I say it's confusing, because it contradicts a lot of some of the things that you have said, and this information is coming out of your country. All right. Now the headline reads that Alba summit is in defense of the Caribbean. Okay. Alba, yeah. Alba summit.
What happened to St. Vincent and the Grenadines? Did St. Vincent and the Grenadines leave?
We are out of time, so we can't go into all of that right now. It's an hour already, so time is against us. But I just want to read something for you here. It says Alba summit in defense of Caribbean. All right. Foreign Minister of Iran has deplored piracy performed by United States military into Venezuelan oil tanker. Violations of international maritime law will not be tolerated by Iran and other responsible members of international community. Iran is a major ally of Venezuela. This article looks like, and this article this article, Ruben, was written, what I'm reading here it looks as though it was written by you. It was written, no, yeah.
Yes, because I
Right.
am very disappointed. I mean, Venezuela thought that we
So
had all
it's
of this alliance, and
that is,
all they did was to do communiques and communiques and communiques, and we just watched the Americans come in, and okay, fine. I mean, and what is that alliance worth for?
my dear brother.
Even the ship that was escaping, a Russian ship, Iranian ship with Russia, I don't know, Bella, and it was seized by the United States as well. So the United States military is doing everything. Militaries of other countries don't do anything. So why are we going to continue
Yeah.
asking for an alliance that will not do anything for you anyway?
My brother, it's nice to have you. We have to end now. I think I have to end. It was nice having you. I end. I'm a person. I don't, as you know me by now, I don't hide to say what I have to say. I don't. In Grenada here, we say we don't put our mouth in bags to say what we have to say. I am a guy. I say straight up, but I end with a heavy heart. I end with a heavy heart, knowing all of the things that you have stood for, and some of my report on my own channel that I do, some of the information came from you. Some of it I read your articles, and I did saw it as credible information. And now to hear you change your tone, you have switched your, I don't know if to say loyalty or support.
I have more freedom now.
Yeah,
There
well,
is more
we
freedom.
all we all
We are
we
already
all
getting
we
freedom.
all want freedom. We all want
I
freedom,
think
and I'm happy that
I
you
think
feel
you
like
have
that.
heard
You
many
feel that
people.
right now free, and freedom is precious.
Yes,
So thank you for joining. We will keep in touch. We will continue to stay in touch,
sure. These are
and
exciting times. I really look forward to this
and I
year.
wish I wish you the best. I wish the people of Venezuela the best.
Oh
But
yeah,
let
please.
us let us see let us see as time goes by. Let us see how this will unfold. But for me personally, I don't think this will end well, judging based on America's track record. So my brother, take care. Until then, see you
All
then
right.
next time.
See
Bye
you.
bye, my
Bye.
viewers, supporters. Thank you. Check out Ruben channel. He has a channel, Ruben Rivero Capriles. Check out his YouTube channel and listen to what he has to say. Take care. Until then, bye.